Yo, what is up, Windrazor Nation? I'm back, and yes, it's true. I'm back to YouTube. I cannot believe I let myself come back. We got some banger Luigi's Mansion mix going in the back, and please excuse the low quality vids because I'm ass at editing, and I'm doing all my own editing and all that shit. So bear with me, I guess. But if you're here for the content, got some pretty cool stuff with you. So this is no ordinary builder episodes. It's gonna be me and all of them. Maybe we'll have some guests. I don't know yet. Depends on if people want to come on. But for the first episode, I decided to do this a little bit after the battle was already done and I built and stuff already. So you're gonna kind of get a clip, and I'm gonna just like review the battle. Otherwise, now that I'm thinking about more on this first episode, I think I'm gonna do all of them as reviews, just because of the way I like doing things. But yeah, you guys are gonna get this new series, building battle. Kind of like, it's not a tutorial, I don't want to say that, but just kind of like an insight on how I build my teams, what I'm looking at in battles and stuff like that, and then a way for me to just kind of review, see what I'm doing, kind of get better myself. So thank you guys for joining me with this, and I'm excited to do this project. Anyways, I have the calc up. I meant to have the prep up. Bad James editing moment. But as you guys can see, in this first one, just for anybody that's listening, maybe if you guys are like a pod listener or something, this is for PBL season 1. My really good friend and usual co-host on a lot of stuff, Mystery. You guys know him. He's the owner of this league. This is another owner of this league, Ark, my other good friend Ark. You guys may know him from NCL. And dude, the Wii music going on right now. I should have a mix on. This is heater. Anyways, I don't know if I'm feeling the Wii music. We might need to do some Professor Juniper theme. That's heater. Okay. So just for y'all listening, this is my team in PBL season 1. So excited to be doing this. But I went ahead and with my first overall selection, I took Iron Valiant. This is a Pokemon that I've been wanting to use a lot. Really fucking amazing draft mon. Not as potent in Legacy as it is in Paldea decks, but nonetheless still one of the best mons on the board. And I've never used it, so I wanted to give it a try. And then we also grabbed a staple for Windrazors, Gliscor. Really good pivot, good hazard setter, all that. And then another new mon, actually a ton of new mons that I've actually never used in drafts, so pretty cool. But I drafted Ogrepon Teal Mask with Terra, Mega Charizard X, which I'm super excited to be using, Terapagos, another mon that's really big on the board, Terra Alamomola, which was something that I never thought I'd see myself using, but he's here. And then the cool part of this team is Metagross as our steel type, Grimmsnarl, and our 3 bottom mons, Skuntank, Vespiquen, and Emolga. So yeah, really, really cool team. Had a lot of visions with this, and we're gonna kind of explore together. It might shake up a little bit come down the road, but we'll see. Dual screens kind of team, good pivoting team, stuff like that. So yeah. My opponent this week was coach of the Eterna Forest Wisps, our good friend Archangel. And his team, for all the viewers out there, is Thunderous Therian with Terra, Kyurem Black, Mega Gallade, Goldango, Meowscarada, Terra Blastoise, Donphan, Doxbun, Muck, Illumise, worst bug by the way, and Dugong. Dugong gong gong. We have to for the video. Anyways, yeah, pretty potent team for my opponent here. A lot of stuff. I, funnily enough, used a lot of these Pokemon. Big Mega Glade, Kyurem Black fan. So the team is right here. We're looking at. So the first thing that I like to do whenever I'm looking at teams, and this kind of comes to like I said, it's not a tutorial. It's just more of how I think about battles, and for people that want to get into building and different stuff, what I'm really looking at. So obviously the first thing that I really look at, I'm more offensive brained. So the first thing I look at is what I do well into their team. And the first thing you notice immediately is Iron Valiant goes insane. His fairy resist is just Goldango and Muck, so the fairy spam into him looks really, really good, with 2 of his top 3 threats, or actually 3 of his top 5 threats being weak to fairy. So that's the first thing that I look into. And then Goldango being really the one thing being in Iron Valiant's way. So as you guys can see here, I have a Calm Mind set with Booster Energy to get that speed boost, because I then become the fastest thing in the game, barring Scarfed Meowscarada. Which, funnily enough, we'll see in the video, he did end up bringing. But yeah, so that booster speed gives me the first, being the fastest thing in the game. I grabbed that Moonblast and then Shadow Ball in order to be able to hit Goldango for super effective damage, do a chunk, just to kind of show you guys my Iron Valiant set. To calcing max HP, kind of come over. You can see that, just max HP Goldango. I'm already doing half, and this is with no boost, but say I get a Calm Mind off, I have a chance to kill. So with rocks, it's very much in my chance to kill afterwards. So any little bit of chip on Goldango works really, really, really well. So that was the first thing that I looked into. So yeah, so this set's pretty basic. And then the cool part here too was, like I said, the fastest thing in the game would be Valiant. No matter what, this was going to be my cleaner. But looking at it, the only real thing that outspeeds it late game would be Scarf Meowscarada, right? So I have the Vacuum Wave in there. Some weird music, dude. There we go, Westwoods. So, dude, I hate this thing. Why does it do that? Weird. Anyways, yeah. So Scarf Meowscarada look like a really obvious bring by him, just because Booster Valiant is a thing. And then if we look at it, Meowscarada, the same set. We have Vacuum Wave, and that +1, I just blow it up. He wasn't being able to get much HP. I believe he brought 40, so yeah. We're OHKOing it. Vacuum Wave. Actually, speed. We're not OHKOing it, but we're doing a lot of damage. We just need a little bit of chip. So if we look at that, Stealth Rocks. We don't kill it, but we just need a little bit of chip, and we're able to start picking things off. So my goal was to have this thing come in on rocks. Oh, he's wearing boots. That would help. Not specs. Scarf. So if he takes rocks, Vacuum Wave has a very good chance to kill after rocks. So yeah, looking really, really good there. Excuse me. So Valiant, looking amazing. And then I kind of went off to looking at my team. Like, again, I like to look at things offensively. So the next mon I built was actually Metagross here. Metagross was a new acquisition. I've always wanted to try this mon. Definitely a little bit of weird, it being my steel type. Looking into this match, Metagross just looked so great, like amazing. With especially Choice Band. If we do some calcs here on my Metagross, some common swap-ins would be something like Defensive Dawn Fan, which I thought was really likely to come. And as you can see, if we go 252 Impish, it's in my favor slightly to 2-ko him with Heavy Slam. So like we're doing a lot of damage. Even Blastoise, who was another mon we were looking at. If we go defensive Blastoise, let's just do the blank set. Just do like max HP, max defense, bold Blastoise. Put like leftovers on it. I mean, Psychic Fangs is pretty much has a chance to 2-ko, and I'm doing a ton of damage, and he can't reliably recover outside of leftovers. And I have knockoff if I need to press that in the game. So Mega Gallade coming in. Not able to kill us with one move. Even knock, I believe, doesn't kill. Yep, so knock doesn't kill. Psychic Fangs. Heavy Slam is always OHKOing. So, looking really good there. We look at Kyurem. Kyurem Black was the only Pokemon that made me think about running Meteor Mash, just because Heavy Slam is only 40 BP against him, but I still 2-ko, and Psychic Fangs does a lot to no HP. If he had max HP, Psychic Fangs is still 2-koing, and Heavy Slam is a very good chance to 2-ko, so it wasn't a huge deal to me at that point. It's just because he'd be swapping out, or I'd be getting lots of damage off, which is very good for Kyurem Black. Yeah. And then, okay, after that, I was thinking, okay, so I have Metagross to help really do damage here, but what am I really using to start this game off and use during the mid game? Because Metagross has to get in, right? So another one of my breakers per se here. So Mega Zard, just looking at this game, looked amazing. Flare Blitz looks so awesome. Blastoise is the only real resist. And then Darkspawn, right? So Darkspawn was, it's not a hard counter, but it does really, really well against Zard, pretty much. So we have a Toxic Sub Reset, really using this one. Funnily enough, if you look at my team, I don't have a great swap into Meowscarada, which is really, really, really scary for me, just because like it can pretty freely press knock. Protean Flower tricks and stuff are just really extremely annoying for me. So this is not like a defensive pivot, but this is more of like a utility mon to be able to swap into Meow, and be able to really, really annoy it. It has to swap out into stuff like Donphan. I get subs off, I Toxic, and I can kind of sub-stall Donphan and Blastoise, who both can't reliably recover. I have enough HP and defense for, I believe, what was the defense for? I have Speed F so that Blastoise can't break my sub. I don't know what the hell just fucking beeped for me, but I hope that wasn't on the video. If it was, that's funny, but something beeped. So yeah, dude, it keeps doing it. This sheet is ass. I want you guys to know. Okay, so my thought process here was Meow looks like such an obvious lead, right? Like regardless of what I bring, he can U-turn pretty much in anything. Flower Trick goes through screens. It just looks really good here, right? If I lead Gliscor, he can always spam knock into me, trying to get rid of my Toxic Orb, and gets a lot of momentum off of that. So just a pretty annoying mod all around, and annoying for Iron Valiant. So my thought process here was Zard's a pretty good lead, like into his team. Nothing OHKOs it other than Kyurem, and I can pretty much threaten anything out. Donphan would be the worst lead, but I can always stay regular and sub once on rocks just to test to see if he has the Stone Edge. So it's never like a lose scenario there for me. And then I believe 248-72 defense helps me live knockoff. I'm not mistaken. My sub for Meow. I live knockoff most of the time. Maybe from Donphan. Oh, maybe it was Ice Shard from Donphan. Yeah, he's doing absolutely nothing to me. And then knockoff is also not breaking. Rapid Spin's not breaking. Earthquake would be the only thing that breaks it. And then just like a lot of moves from Meow. Like knockoff doesn't, I have a very good chance to not break here. Let's just go like 25. We can see that exact roll. 25%. Yeah, so it's a 50-50 chance for my sub to get broken at that point, but this is max attack. Okay, yeah, so I have enough of Speed F, and then I have just enough speed. The speed tier is kind of funny. I hit 246 because of Kyurem. So Kyurem Black obviously is going to be creeping my Terapagos, but I didn't think that Arc would think I'd have much speed in this match. I think he would be really hitting basically just enough for Metagross. and a few other ones. So that was kind of the speed tier that I hit. So that 246, if we look, like let's go to Terapagos, right? At 246, if we were maxed, we get to 269, obviously there, but like it's just like creeps of creeps, right? So like min speed. Oh, what I calced was Kyurem at +1. My bad. I was misremembering. What I calced was Kyurem Black. When he uses Scale Shot, he wants to be faster than my fastest Mon, just in general. Obviously, my 2 Mons can outspeed him, but when he's +1, he just wants to outspeed the 116. So if we come and look, Iron Valiant, we were 252. Gets to that 364 mark, so he just has to hit that. So like, let's say he's adamant, right? So he just has to hit that. I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. We just go down, so that's tied right there. So you see that's that 244, and over here we're 246. So we just outspeed his creep of trying to outspeed Valiant at 1, just because he doesn't think Zard will be that low, and then I'm sure he didn't really expect Terapagos or Gliscor to have much speed, and then I believe he still outspeeds like our Terapagos. Let's go to it. He obviously still outspeeds us at 244. So yeah, like we have to put a lot of invest in. Like we outspeed him here, but this is max. So yeah, and then I believe. So let's get off of this really quick. If we go to Gliscor, like a Gliscor set, he easily outspeeds in speed. So yeah, that was my thought process on the speed. Pretty cool EVing here. And then the 16 plus Adamant was some extra left over that allowed me to. This mod is crazy, guys. I'm loving this. Like, look at this. This is pretty much full Fizdef. If we go full Fizdef, I have a chance to 3-ko with Flare Blitz, and then with Rocks Up. With Rocks Up, I always 3-ko. So pretty cool. I keep saying rocks. I didn't bring rocks, so I keep saying this, but it was just more or less for Ark to think like, hey, what is this? But I do a fuckload. Goldango, I believe, still dies easily. We're doing a shit ton. Mega Gallade has a chance to die with a little bit of chip. And my point was, I'm either sweeping with Val or I'm cleaning up very late game with Bullet Punch on Metagross, which is always a late win con there. So that's my Zard. And then we look defensively, right? So my biggest worry in this game was the big one's Goldango. I don't have a good swap into Goldango. My only real thing that was aiding me a lot was that this Goldango is really hard pressed to be offensive in this game. I can't really afford to. It is a natural check to Valiant as is, but it takes a ton from Shadow Ball, as I showed you guys. So it, like, my first thought when it being was like, I think it's gonna be Cassib, the Ghost Berry, for Shadow Ball for Valiant, in order to tank it. So I really needed a way to mid game it and be able to test and see what item it is, force it in, and that mod being Terapagos. So here, hazards are annoying for my team. We have spin. He does have a spin blocker, but it does exactly what I need it to do, which is force the Goldango in. Terra Starstorm hits everything on his team extremely hard, and then Dark Pulse to hit said Goldango. It doesn't break the Castleberry, but I don't believe I get Shadow Ball. Yeah, I didn't get Shadow Ball or any ghost moves like that, so Dark Pulse was my hardest way to hit this thing, and Terra Starstorm hit everything else. So just testing to see if he's offensive, and then the Spidef and HP allowing me to live hits pretty easily. From Goldango, Nasty Plot was really annoying, but I'm Resto Chesto because of the Thunder Wave Hex set. I have a Gliscor, so Hex was pretty obvious from Ark's standpoint, in my opinion. So I really thought Hex was going to be present, and then at that point, I think Thunder Wave just made sense to pair with it to get extra boosted damage on things like Metagross and slowed things down on Alamomola, which was perfect for it. Just anything that really wanted to swap in on Gholdengo, even like if I swap in Grimmsnarl or something like that, it does really well. So yeah, Thunder Wave, that thing. So if he did Thunder Wave me on my Terapagos, I was rest, so that I have just enough special attack to 2-ko certain things with Terra Starstorm, and then offensive Gholdengo got 2-ko'd by Dark Pulse, and does good enough damage to where we can stall out. Recovers, we always 3-ko it no matter what it is with D-Pulse. So that was that. And then that little bit of speed, you guys see that 64, that was for whenever I did Rapid Spin, so I hopefully force the Gholdengo out. I do Rapid Spin. I'm then faster than non-scarfed Thundurus at 101, so whatever his fastest speed can be, I put just a little bit in so that at +1, we would always outspeed him, so that we could do a shitload of damage with Terra Starstorm. Which comes to my next thing. His top 3 Pokemon are all absolute demons, and my game plan in this was to play a fast game, force Arc on the back end. I couldn't beat his whole team. So my next Pokemon here, the big one that I was looking at so that I don't auto-lose to is Mega Gallade, since my team, my 4 here don't really take CC all that well, especially since Valiant isn't known for his physical defense. It's not bad, but 74, 90, we're taking a shitload from CC regardless of resisting, and this is also my win con. I don't want to be wasting my booster swapping this in, obviously, to Glade, and we're weak to one of his stabs, so just in general, Mega Glade's really good. So full Fizz Def Aloe, it's what it does best with that big bulky HP. Rocky Helmet to get that chip, for Bullet Punch to be able to come clean, and for Moonblast to be able to OHKO without boost. So Aloe's in here. If we come and look at the calcs, we are Terra Fairy, which is pretty obvious, but let's Terra up. Even without Terra, we come in on CC pretty well. He decides to SD, that's fine. Get to Terra. Zen does quite a lot, but we still have a good chance to, we even have a chance to live. But big thing here is Play Rough, doing over half, and he has to hit us, take Rocky Helmet damage. And I was okay trading. Trading Aloe for Mega Glade, getting it low was 110% okay with me. Play Rough does just enough to where we can come and clean up. If we come and look, Metagross's Bullet Punch is doing 42 to 49. Play Rough with Rocky Helmet is enough for us to clean, and then Moonblast is almost killing anyway, so just even a little bit of Rocky Helmet. This is no HP, obviously, but like even if he is a bulky variant that's set up, like we're doing a lot with Moonblast here, right? So just getting that chip damage, I was totally okay with trading Aloe for Mega Glade. The biggest threat next to it, Kyurem Black. This is gonna sound kind of wacky. More or less just pressuring Kyurem Black. I have like pivots into it. Aloe can always pivot into it, mostly once, depending on what kind of set it is. And then Metagross was a good pivot into it one time, and then getting a shitload of damage off. And then finally, my last Pokemon was to help with these 3, right? Because my biggest thing here, you'll be noticing, I don't have an electric resist right now other than my Megazard, which I can't swap in pre-Megad. But Terra Thundi is just a huge threat for me, right? Thunderbolt goes crazy. Here we go again. Stop pressing on this thing. Sorry about that. But Terra Thundi is really good here. Gliscor, you're wondering, oh, why isn't Gliscor here? Sped-Up Gliscor does well against hazards, get the chip that you need, right? Well, looking at this team, Gliscor genuinely isn't great. It gets pressured by everything here, doesn't really beat anything, and I have too many moves I want to run, right? Like I want to run Stealth Rocks, I want to run Roost, I want to run U-Turn, I want to run Knockoff, I have to run Earthquake. So it just felt like a liability, and it also just doesn't beat Terra Thundi 1v1. He could just be Terra Ice, and Terra Blast for Ice, and or my biggest worry was just honestly pure Terra Flying. My flying resist being Metagross, in which it can just T-bolt me afterwards, and it's really, really scary. So Thundy is just a demon into my team, specifically Nasty Plot. So that was really, really scary. So instead of bringing Gliscor, I went to ops for my screens guy here. We got Light Clay to be able to preserve our win cons here, especially these two, and allow Metagross to swap in on things that it usually couldn't, and do heavy damages back. So Spirit Break, Foul Play. I'm Spirit Break because it hits his entire team except for Goldingo, and that's what Foul Play's for. I didn't like having Parting Shot here because Goldingo does stop the Parting Shot, and it's a pretty obvious swap every time, and Foul Play does a good chunk to the Goldingo. I believe it does like 35 to 40, something like that. So really good. Spirit Break does a shitload of damage to both Gallade and Kyurem, and just obviously getting the special attack drop for Thundy was great. We're full Spadef to be able to swap into Thundy, set our light screen, kind of spam Spirit Break and or swap to Metagross to stop setup if need be. Forcing the Terra was really, really big in this point. And we're not bringing Ogerpon, as you guys can see, so Blastoise also looked a little scary into us. And that. Last mon I want to touch on here for Arc is the Kyurem Black. The Kyurem Black was really, really scary. I think I talked about it before. I don't have an actual full check to it. I just couldn't afford it, and to be completely blunt, I don't really have one on my team. Shucka Berry Metagross was pretty much the best answer I was going to get. That or like Yachi Berry Aloe or something like that. You'll notice Aloe's not named. It is actually named. I do name it this. I just swapped the A's, but this is really funny to watch. Whenever I do that, it breaks the thing for whatever reason, and it doesn't import correctly. It's really weird. Like, watch this, right? We're going to go to the paste. I'll show you guys this. You go, right? Oh, it worked. Okay. Before, for whatever reason, Showdown was glitching, and whenever it did the name backwards like that, or the palindrome name, it fucked up the thing. So, whatever. I'm gonna start doing this. I think this is funny. Let's capitalize every other one. Cool. Anyways, or should I do all three O's? That'd be funny. How does that look? What if I capitalize all three O's? Yeah, maybe we'll do something like that. And it kind of looks like a fish. Yeah, we're doing that. Sometimes with James and Builder. So yeah, so that's the team. We'll kind of go here. Looking at it, we looked at some calcs, everything. So yeah, and then we'll get to the battle here shortly. But oh, I didn't touch on it. The 40 attack on Grimstar was so that I 2-code Glade and Kyurem pretty freely. So yeah, really good team. I was confident with this. Valiant went really hard, and yeah, I'm gonna pause it for a second, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we're back for the battle portion. So yeah, so basically in our battle portion, this is the first episode, so I'm just gonna explain it. So we have the build and battle, explain to you guys my team, why I brought what I brought, and then for each battle, I'm gonna just review the battle, kind of walk you guys through what I did, why I did, go over preview, go over what my opponent did, and whether or not I maybe agree with the play or not, and just kind of like my thought process at the point of it. So yeah, so as you can see on preview right now, I kind of hate that the play thing is here. I wonder if you can get rid of that. Whatever. But as you guys can see, he did bring a lot of the Pokemon that I expected him to bring. The Goldingo's there, and his top 3 are there. Thundy, Gallade. Okay, so definitely want to turn the sound off. So let's go here. So my thought process here, I'm not going to start the battle immediately. I wish it showed in the battle in the beginning, it shows the Terras, but it doesn't show it until I start the battle, so that's a little shitty. But the Thundy here is Terra Flying, which I was terrified of, and as you guys can see, I don't have a ton for it, so that is my biggest priority there, is like that Thundy T is really, really annoying. He did bring the Meow, and the biggest thing was that Goldango's here and Donphan was here. So obviously he thinks that Donphan was enough for Megazard because he did not bring Darkspun and he did not bring Blastoise. So I thought he might bring like a combination of both Blastoise and Donphan was what I was worried about. Honestly, funnily enough, was expecting like maybe Gallade not to be here, but Gallade ended up being here. Meow ended up being here, and Donphan was it. So immediately I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, my Zard has no bad matchup. Genuinely anything he could lead. If he leads Thundy, I can pretty safely say he's probably Scarfed. He might not be, but lead Thundy 99% of the time is Scarfed, and would really signify to me that he's not scared of it, unless he thought that he could immediately power through like Grimmsnarl. I guess he could lead it without it being Scarfed, just because like he doesn't see Gliscor, right? So he could say like, I just want to set up, but genuinely looking at his team, Thundy looked like the win con, right? And then if that doesn't work, Meow can come in and clean. With breakers being Kieran Black and Gallade, mid game being Goldango, and defensive pivoting through Donphan, who sets rocks for the team, which is immediately annoying because I didn't bring hazards, so Donphan's the hazard setter and remover, and he does have block with Goldango for my rapid spin, which is extremely annoying since my Zard is quad weak, but I was using Zard early, so it wasn't too scary. But I'm looking at this. I really genuinely think Meow is his lead. It's a great scout. Pretty much all of my leads, like if I lead Metagross, he can knock me and or U-turn out, depending on what he wants to do. I can't lead Aloe into it because if I Terra Fairy, he gets to knock me off immediately, which is really, really good for him, and or just U-turn out into like Goldango. So that's really good for him. And then like Grimmsnarl lead. So I think my best lead here was always Charizard. I built this thing to lead into Meowscarada, so that's exactly what I do. And as we can see, he does lead the Meow, which is great. We can see Terra types here. Unfortunately, it doesn't show the fucking sprites, so it reveals that I am Fairy on my Aloe, and he is flying on his Thundurus. So yeah, so beginning out here, I get the lead correct. It's pretty obvious. Unfortunately, I wanted to stay regular here. Unfortunately, I can't, just in case this thing does have Power Gem, which I have seen would be pretty crazy, but I didn't want to just immediately be OHKO'd by Power Gem. But it's more than likely just a U-turn is coming out here. And so I Toxic. The reason I Toxic here and I don't sub is because I don't want the Donphan to get any free turns, and I immediately get the Toxic off and start racking up damage, which was exactly the point to it. So I Mega Evolve here. He does in fact U-turn, and he goes straight into Donphan, and we get the Toxic off. So for this next play, I'm not going to pause on every single one, but my thought process here, I take the U-turn, I'm at 88%. This is free rocks for Arc, right? Like in my mind, I'm thinking that he wants to set hazards here, as hazards look really, really good into my team. Really nerfs this Zard and gets chip on stuff like Grimmsnarl and Aloe, which he needs for Gallade. So yeah, so in my thought head, right, I don't lose anything by subbing here. I rack up toxic damage, which was the point, and allows me to get a free sub and extra toxic damage if he sets hazards. If he does just EQ here, I'm in a good position too. I do take damage, but it's not the big end of the world, as he does get a toxic off. So, and I can swap to Aloe if need be and flip turn after that. So on this play, I do sub, and he does in fact go for the rocks. So I get the play correct, which is really, really great for us. And then as you can see, I get a free roost here. At this point, all I need to do, I'm already in a winning position for this exchange. He does have rocks up, which is annoying, like I said, but it's a good exchange for me early because I need damage on this for a lot of my, especially Metagross, to be able to end the game. So this is really, really great, and then good for my Valiant too, because now he's in Moonblast range. So We just roost there as he EQs. He takes toxic damage. I can just sub again. Basically, my thought process here was you'd think, oh, James, he can just spam Earthquake and you lose health because you don't have leftovers, right? Well, the point is I do 46 to 50, whatever, right, in our calcs that we saw. So I was just trying to get him in range of Flare Blitz, which he has no swap-ins for. So yeah, I lose a little bit of health, but if I can trade that with Donphan, I'm happy. So he makes a good play here. I sub and he goes Cure in Black. The reason for him doing this is because it covers my play. It covers a swap into Aloe, and it also covers in case I sub again, which he knew obviously I'm trying to do to wear the Donphan in. And Scale Shot will break my sub and do a shit ton of damage to me. So at this point, I make the play to hard swap into Metagross. I'm doing this to cover the Scale Shot and Icicle Spear. There's really no reason for him to Earth Power because he loses that exchange. He could have been aggressive and done that, knowing that possibly I swap, but I'm behind a sub, so if he Earth Powers, he gets me at that point, but there's no real reason for me not to make this play. So I come in, he does end up Scale Shotting. We kind of go through mid-game here. He does get 4 hits, which shows me immediately that he's either lucky or he's loaded dice. With his damage, I can tell that he has a shitload of attack, so I am very, very much thinking that he's loaded dice, which is great information at this point. I take the damage, which health on Metagross is important, but it's not like needed, especially since I have screens. I can live hits still. This is one of those plays where he didn't want to go Donphan because I still have Zard, I guess. I don't really understand this play from Arc, but I just heavy slammed to get damage off of Cure in Black. No reason for me not to. And we absolutely obliterate this thing. Minimum damage was 167. So we killed about 1 3/4 Meowscaradas in that play. Absolutely obliterated, which looked absolutely amazing for me because Meow was so annoying, especially for Valiant like games. So that is making Valiant look even better. He goes into Goldango here. I just make the play to Terapagos. Because it was always my play. I don't have another swap in. He misses the Thunder Wave, which is really fortunate. But like again, we know that we're rest. Because he did miss the Thunder Wave, I am able to go for Dark Pulse here, which is really nice. Because now I can immediately go for rest and get my Terra Shell back, which is amazing. I end up just Rapid Spinning here, which he does get me on this play. The reason I Rapid Spin here, as he goes Thundy, obviously he can set up. So he goes here, right? I rest. He goes Goldango on the Rapid Spin. The reason I do Rapid Spin there is because hazards, I need them gone. If he goes back to Goldango, I'm in a great spot because I'm at 100%. My Terra Shell's still up, so he never beats me unless he is Nasty Plot, in which case he has to choose whether to hit me and take damage or try and heal. So he doesn't get the free turn to set up, which is what we need. And then with Thundurus, I Rapid Spin because I would have been faster. If he does set up, I can just Terra Starstorm after that and do a shitload. So, and I can always swap to Grimmsnarl if he does Nasty Plot on me pretty freely. So, comes in, he blocks my spin, which is annoying. He does reveal that he is Recover. At this point, I'm just going to spam Dark Pulse. He breaks my shell. Which is fine. I get the Dark Pulse. Now I always get him into this loop. He does go Gallade here. At this point, like, he gets the Justified boost, which is obviously scary, right? That getting the attack. But this is great. Goldango is at 20%. If we look, there is no Moonblast swap in. So I am in such a great position. Remember what this Aloe is for. At this point, I'm like, okay, whatever. If I trade Aloe, like, I don't care if he sets up. My only real scare here is if he's Agility, but he can't Agility and SD on Aloe at the same time for risk of being burned. And then I'm also, he doesn't know this, but I'm Play Rough, Terra Fairy Play Rough, which does a shitload to this Glade. So he does end up pressing SD here, which is scary. He is +3, but I never die. I'm full Fizz Def Aloe. He does end me. I do a lot. And then this is super unfortunate. I missed the Play Rough because it was a roll to kill. I didn't need it to kill. So that's whatever at that point. So he doesn't have as much damage on him, but it's not a big deal. This is just really unfortunate right here because this forces me to go Vow a lot earlier than I wanted to. However, there is still no Moonblast swap in, so it's okay. Just makes the game a little harder because I don't know if Thundy's Scarf or not. I don't, at this point, didn't know. I have zero idea what the Meowscarada's item was. So I just know that Val more than likely outspeeds Thundurus, but if it's Scarf, it can get a little annoying. But I have tools for it, so not the end of the world. At this point, I'm like, okay, it's fine. I get to trade. He gets a little bit of recovery, does the Rocky Helmet, goes back to 1% more. I go Val here, burn my booster. Totally fine. We get to press Moonblast and anything. He has to let something die. He lets Goldango go down, which is absolutely amazing. We can get a Rapid Spin off whenever. Okay, and then this turn. He Terra Flanks. Terra Blast kills me like 1,000 times over right now. My thought process is, okay, looking back, I think that I should have gone just hard Grimmsnarl, but I was afraid of setup at this point. And if he Scarfed, I don't know at that point, like he could just Terra Blast, he Scarfed or whatever. My thought process was I still have Metagross pretty healthy at 69%. And I'm getting really close to a Bullet Punch sweep, right? I'll kill this thing afterwards. I just need chip on this for Metagross. So, Karen Black's obviously at full. I do a shitload with Bullet. Just need a little bit more chip. But yeah, with screens, I felt that Metagross could help finish this game. In retrospect, I think I should have kept this now. I think I should have just gone hard Grimmsnarl and set up Light Screen and then spammed Spirit Break, just because if he sets up here, it doesn't matter. He can't 2-ko me when I set up Light Screen, which I go first because I'm Prankster, and then I can just spam Spirit Break and see from there. And go Metagross regardless. It just made things a little hairy. I do Moonblast here, predicting setup and slash or want to get that damage from Metagross. So he does agility here, so I know obviously not Scarfed, agility set up, and this is when I go into Grimmsnarl, where he does Terra Blast directly into me. I set up my Light Screen as he Naspots, he is Dual Dance, but he doesn't Terra Blast again in fear of Metagross coming in, which I totally get. But this allows really great because this allows Grimmsnarl to pick up a kill because I can just spam Spirit Break into him, and now I'm looking really good. Iron Valiant looks like pretty much the win con at this point. I just need a little chip on Kyurem. I Oko Glade. I also killed Donphan, so not worried about it at all. And then Kyurem Black, I can clean up with Metagross if I just Moonblast into it. So I reflect just to get the chip because for Kyurem, Glade, don't really need that. I go into this just in case something wacky happened, right? He did. I don't know how much speed he is and everything, so I don't think there is a way that Val could have outsped. I want to look at this, actually. Let's look at this together. Because I wanted to get rid of... He's Donphan. I don't know his set. But at +1... Yeah. He's never outspeeding me at 352 where I'm at. Probably should have just gone Val and cleaned the game up at this point. I got better differential. So that's something that, like I said, I'm looking back on. I definitely could have played better or cleaner. But at this point, I want to get rocks off because Zard is also like a win con in this game. Because in my head, I'm still hopefully outspeeding Kyurem and I get the chip needed for Val to win regardless. He Drain Punches, which never kills here. I get off a Starstorm, which was cool. I don't Rapid Spin here to get faster because I never kill with Rapid Spin into Starstorm, so in my head, that doesn't matter. So yeah, he Drain Punches again, get a little health back. At this point, I just go Val, and I'm able to clean up the game. He was naive, Kirim, because I didn't think I would kill him in one. But I lived and he hit, so it didn't matter. And the point was he couldn't skill shot, so he could never be faster than any of my Pokemon at that point. But yeah, definitely things that I could have fixed. I think I should have gone Hard Grim with how good Valiant was, because if he chose to just kill me there, it got a little murky, especially with Kirim Black. So looking at it, it's a little hindsighty, but good game from Arc. Glad we could win that one. I think we played really, really well. It would have just been positioning again with Metagross at the end of that. But anyways, that's what's my thought on the game. Great week 1, starting the week off 1-0. I'm not very known for doing that, so that's a pretty big W for us and the Sleepy Hollow Jirachi. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's not like anything crazy, and again, like I said, I'm not making this into like a huge giant project, but I'm hoping to have these out for you really every week, because they're pretty easy and I like explaining this stuff. So anyways, I'm done yapping your guys' ears off. Hope you guys enjoyed, and feel free to leave any advice or comments, anything that you think I could have done better, anything you think that the opponent could have done better, down below. Leave in the comments. Follow me on Twitch. It's Windrazors over there. And please subscribe if you can here as well. It really, really helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Catch you guys on the flip side. See y'all later. Bye.